Hey everyone, it's Carissa at Sprinkled with Glitter. Thanks for stopping by today. Today I have a fun shaker card featuring this Be a Unicorn stamp set from Avery Elle. I'm going to combine it with some of these mini stars in the iridescent color from Pretty Pink Posh. I thought I would use those window frames dies that were over to the side. I didn't end up using those because I shifted gears here in the middle. But I'm going to start out with this little unicorn stamp, and I've stamped him in Memento, or I guess, is it her? Him? I don't know. Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I'm going to be doing a little Copic coloring. So because I want my unicorn to be mainly white, I'm just adding a little bit of shading using the N0 marker, and then I blended it out with the colorless blender. Now, I have to admit, as I was making this card, I think I finally found my spirit animal, and I didn't do it using one of those online quizzes. I just happened to find out that only a rainbow unicorn would have glitter all over its body, right? So I discovered that the rainbow unicorn with glitter all over his body or her body is now my spirit animal. So I'm working through the different colors to create a rainbow mane. You can see him up there in the corner. I'm going from a pink to an orange to a yellow to a green to a blue and to a violet. And of course, I'll have all these colors listed over at my blog. And I'm just kind of blending from one color to the next. And after I got all the colors laid down, I kind of went backwards and added a little flicking motion to kind of add some hairs into those and to kind of blend those two colors together. Now, some of the lighter colors you need to be careful with because they can very easily be overtaken by the darker colors. So, for instance, that yellow and that green and orange as they blend together can really easily be taken over. So to color the tail, I did the same exact technique, and now I've added a little R20 to the cheeks, and I've blended that out with the colorless blender. And now I'm using a couple of these pink markers here, these are R markers, to add to the nose and the hooves. You can see over on the right, I started with some gray hooves and nose, and I just thought it was way too harsh on this kind of light fairy tale unicorn here. So I went back and recolored this using the pink on the hooves and the nose instead. Once I got that completely colored, I went ahead and used the coordinating die to cut this out through my Big Shot machine. And now I'm pulling out this stamp set. It has the coordinating dies. This is from Pretty Pink Posh. And I'm using just the dies, the cloud dies on this die set to cut out some Essentials by Ellen 43-pound vellum. I'm running that through the die cut machine a couple of times to get several clouds to add to the front of my card. So now that I have all those pieces die cut, I'm going to go ahead and make my shaker portion. And this time I'm going to be using an Avery Elle stamp pocket along with my fuse tool to make a little bit flatter of a shaker card. This kind of keeps me from having to build it up too much, but you will see me build up my base anyway because I do like a little dimension on my cards. So I've taken this die. This is from the We Are Memory Keepers Nesting Cloud die set. And I've just taped it in place onto a portion of the stamp pocket. And I'm fusing around about, 2/3 of this or 3/4 of this, leaving a little portion open so that I can add my shaker bits. And now I'm just taking a little piece of paper here and a little piece of micropore tape to make me a makeshift funnel to add my little shaker pieces into it. And I'm going to add some of these iridescent mini stars from Pretty Pink Posh. I'm also going to add the sparkling silver or the silver seed beads. These are not the sparkling clear. They are the silver shine. I don't know. I'll have them linked in the description below. And I'm also going to add some of the 4mm sparkling clear sequins. And then once I get all those bits added in there, or the guts of the shaker, I'm going to go ahead and fuse this completely shut. Now, I have to say, if I was going to do this all over again, I would probably mix up all my shaker elements beforehand, all the stars and the seed beads and the sequins in a separate container beforehand, because you're seeing here that I actually ended up with kind of layers of these shaker insides or shaker guts. I was able to shake it up enough to get them to mix around, but it would have probably been easier to mix them up ahead of time. So with a good vigorous shake, I got all of those mixed up in there, and then I used my scissors to cut around the edge of that shaker cloud. Now I'm going to work on some other portions of my card. I'm using a stitched rectangle die and some linen cardstock from the Essentials by Ellen line to create a card front. And now I'm taking that stitched rectangle portion that I created and that same die that I used to create my shaker pocket, and I'm going to cut a window out of this card front. Now I'm cutting the fun foam and the card front at the same time, just to save me a little bit of headache of trying to figure out where I need to create that window on the fun foam later on. And once I got those pieces cut, I'm going ahead and adding just a little ATG tape runner adhesive around the back side of that card front window, and I'm attaching my shaker cloud to the back of that card front. So once that shaker portion was in place, I went ahead and flipped this back over so I could start adding some of my elements on. And I'm adding some of the vellum clouds along with my spirit animal, the rainbow sparkly unicorn, onto this card front. And I did use a little clear foam adhesive for the clouds and some regular foam adhesive for the unicorn. So by dumb luck, complete dumb luck, I figured out that the larger of these two Pretty Pink Posh clouds fits this Have a Magical Day sentiment from the same stamp set perfectly. So I went ahead and prepped my surface of my vellum, stamped that sentiment in some Versamark ink, added my superfine detail white embossing powder, and now I'm just heat setting that sentiment. And once I got that all embossed, I went ahead and added some more of that Cool Tack clear foam adhesive to attach that sentiment cloud onto my card. So I did a little rearranging on the clouds, and once I got them all figured out where I wanted them, I went ahead and added some tape runner adhesive to the back of my card front so that I could attach my fun foam here. That's going to just build up the card a little bit. And then I'll add this entire panel onto a piece of Turquoise Mist textured cardstock from Basil. This is just some stuff I've had in my stash for quite some time. And then I'll take that entire thing and add it to an A2 size card base. My card base I created using some Neenah Solar White 110-pound cardstock. It's cut at 4 1/4 by 11 and then scored at 5 1/2 to create a top folding A2 size card. So you can see I'm just positioning that entire card front onto my card base, and now it is time for the fun. I'm using my Spectrum Noir clear sparkle pen or glitter brush pen, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, to add a layer of sparkle over this entire unicorn. I actually went over it twice to add plenty of sparkle, and you can see here the fun sparkly effects that I get on my unicorn. And I'll just finish this card off by adding a healthy dose of some sparkling clear sequins from Pretty Pink Posh. And I just get my sequins in place, and then I kind of lift up the edge using my finger, add a little bit of that multi-medium in the matte finish behind them, and then I can just push them right back down. Now I also added a layer of glossy accents to my unicorn's horn, as well as the nose and the hooves, and that finishes off my card for today. So there you go, a card using my spirit animal, which is the glitter rainbow unicorn. So I want to know, do all of you have a spirit animal? If so, leave it in the comments below. As always, I will have links to all the products used in this project over at my blog at sprinkledwithglitter.com, where you can see more still shots and find more information. And I'll have links to the featured products in the description at YouTube. Thanks for stopping by today. I hope you enjoyed this project. And until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.